Ready to go? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Meeting of the Western Tier Charter Schools Board of Directors. And I am calling the meeting to order at 3:34 p.m. Holly, would you please roll call?
Lisa Kostowski, here. Cody Hayes,
Here.
Charles Williams,
Here.
Jason Smith, and Ian Whitney are absent.
So we have two members missing today, but as our bylaws describe, a majority of the voting directors in an office shall constitute a quorum. So 3 members present is sufficient for a quorum according to our bylaws. We will proceed with the meeting. Item number 3 is approval of the agenda. So you can, very short agenda, and I'm ready to entertain a motion for approval whenever you're ready.
Lisa Kostowski, a motion to approve the agenda.
Good.
Right, I'll say.
You. All in favor of the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good, thank you very much. And I am not aware of anybody wishing to address the board. Holly, are you aware? No, nobody wishing to address the board. And item number 5, written communications. Don't have any other than the item that's on the agenda here. So item number 6 is in your packet before you. We're looking for you to be able to understand, have any of your questions answered, and then seeking your approval for the general contractor for Oakhurst Building Edition. And Jody and I will tag team in the description of this item. So we are, as you all know, doing a fairly significant addition to the main building at our Oakhurst campus, adding almost 2,000 square feet. And we knew that's a big project. It was going to come in obviously over our $150,000 criteria for going to bid. And so we've been working with an architecture firm, Gerald Melee and Associates, or GMA, throughout this project. They're the ones who we worked with, and they drew up the plans and quarterbacked seeing those plans through the approval process with Madera County. Those have been approved and stamped. Have plans back, and the second step was then putting together the bid packet and posting the job on the remember what that's called, the clearinghouse for
The Builders Exchange.
the Builders Exchange, and then also we advertise it somewhere else too. And so this was advertised on the Builders Exchange for a number of weeks, and then we had a required walkthrough back in June. And so all of the prospective, potentially interested contractors showed up. There was a bunch of people who came and
It ended up being 14 different organizations that represented many people beyond a big selling sheet. So we got a lot of
a
interest.
lot of people came in and did the building sidewalk. And again, Wendy Wilson, who is with GMA, who has been working with us all along the way, was there answering questions. And so we did that. And then contractors that were interested had to complete the bid package and turn that into us by 2 o'clock on last Thursday, on July 16th. And so when all is said and done, we had 2 general contractors who bid the project. And so one of those was
A JPB.
out of Sacramento area.
Yeah.
And they submitted a package, and then Fortune Rapids, which is Fresno area, more local, submitted a package. And so we opened those public opening of those bids, and then subsequent to that opening, Jody and I and Brian Pulse, who's also been working with us on this, Brian is a civil engineer and does a lot of work with us on various things. We together evaluated the bids and have a recommendation. And our recommendation is Fortune Radcliffe. And so, Jody, do you want to
So
jump
yeah,
in?
so the way the criteria for scoring was bid was 50%, the price, and the other 50% was qualifications. And so we went through, Fortune Radcliffe had a bid of 1,164,750. JPB Design said 1,199,000. So, Fortune Radcliffe was the lowest bid, so they got the full 50 points, being the lowest bidder. GPD wasn't too far behind, that was 60 amounts surplus. They give us a breakdown of all the different elements of the bid, and it looked like both did a pretty good job, but especially Fortune Radcliffe had all sorts of detail that we had specifically requested that was good. Then on the qualifications, as I think you got a lot of that in your package, they had a lot of local work and a lot of work in general where they were very specific, and it was very similar to what we looked at. They scored very highly on the similar project scale and the idea that they came through on time and on budget and all those things. So that's why they forwarded. We would like to have the board them the contract. So they are the general contractor. They hire a bunch of subcontractors, and so under this bid documentation is all the subs that they are talking about having, and so they give that information, and it's a interesting sort of for us a big project, obviously 2,600 square feet, 2,060. It has to rolled into the building, look just like the building. It has all of the requirements, and they it looked like that was a good thing. So we did fall back on Brian's also. He had a lot of experience with the local contractors, especially with Fortune Radcliffe, so he could that for their timeliness, professionals,
Quality of work,
stuff
right.
to have that. And so Mike and I did the actual bid scoring and came up with the Fortune Radcliffe was ahead of that. It was highest in scoring and the lowest bidder. Sometimes it could go the other way. You could theoretically have a low bidder, but someone else has better qualifications. And in this case, it was the low bid and the highest qualification for the same company, which makes sense. And at least we had two responsive bidders, which gave us a good enough run at it.
And it was somewhat
accurate, yeah.
Somewhat encouraging that the bids of those two came in really close. That seems to validate that, give you some assurance that that's a right price.
Yeah, and we had set aside, the board had set aside 1.2 million at us, right there, right within that number. So yeah, it aligns. That's why we're bringing it to you with that recommendation.
They, and included in the bid package that you have, one of the things we asked is other prior work that would demonstrate their capacity and readiness for the project we have. And they've done lots of work that would be corollary similar to the kinds of things we're asking in size. So the kinds of things we're asking. So it was right. Yes.
So the idea here is that the construction, if all goes well, if the board approves that, we would then get a contract together for them to sign. Most of the components of the contract are already in the bid package, so there will be any surprises to the bidder, like here on what we require. So that should be go through in the next couple of weeks. And then we're hoping to have a notice to proceed by the beginning of September and construction completed by May 31st of 27. So over the summer we can put all the furniture and get it all prepared for August.
And you like all the local addresses for subcontractors, so.
Yes. Yeah, they do a lot of work in this area.
And it's nice that those persons knowing them and seeing their work. So they're having to wonder. It's City Hall.
Yeah, I don't, you might have mentioned this, but the way Fortune Ratliff works is their operation is largely, like a project manager. And they have these agreements with various subs they like to work with, and so most of their work is through sub.
And most of those guys, they're all really good.
Yeah, you know a lot of those.
JMT and H&H Works.
Yeah.
Multiple projects for me. And
Oh, that's
very
great.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Good friends, clients.
That's great.
Quality workers.
Happy for any other questions.
Yeah, by the way, back when we went through our insurance company, we went through legal, multiple confirmations of all the technical issues related to this. We had to, with Brian as well as Wendy, so we feel pretty comfortable. It's gonna go well, and, we vetted it pretty well, I think.
Well, today is basically just to approve what you guys.
Just to approve,
That's
Fortune Ratliff.
and the amount, because the bid amount was the 1,164,750. So when we, get the contract together, we don't have to reconvene contract, because contracts can reflect the elements that are already in the
Right.
bid, and the amount of the contract will be no higher than that. So,
So whoever, moves on this, if you could just, quote item number 6, and then the amount was right here, just put it into that.
Is there any type of a contingency fund if they were to go over it, or are they kind of like contracted that they have to come to the budget that they
yeah, there's requirements, the 1,164 is the bid, but if they come in, there are contingencies, like they already, they have a bond on that they have to perform, or they want to pay that. If it's gonna end up being over because the scope is different, it can't be over just because they're over.
just because
They can be over because there might be a change or some sort of issue with
Material
balance,
shot.
no, maybe the balance there, or something that's unusual. And then the board would be aware of that change in scope, the revisions, new work order for that related, and then so we would deal with it at that time. So at this point, given that everything stays the same, which sometimes doesn't, but we think, there really isn't a whole lot of environmentally odd things going on right in that spot, so we think it should be good. So it's not like a build from, stick built thing from the ground up that's in the locations that have been built. So we do believe we have pretty good idea of environmental factors that might change something. And yeah, like if China suddenly buys like a bit of concrete from the planet or something, prices will go up, and then they'll talk about that. How much does that affect us?
excavator finds a mini trail cavitating underneath the ground.
Yeah, that's about it.
Are there any other questions? All right, I will entertain a motion on item number 6.
Cody Yates, a motion to approve.
Okay. And for the record, Cody, approval of the Fortune Ratliff as the general contractor, for an amount of $1,164,750. Is that correct? Is there a second?
Lisa Patskowski, I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We will inform Fortune Ratliff of the board's decision. And whatever it is they do next, queue up the project.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
The contract, get contracted under.
We'll get the contract to
I will do that a little bit here. Or,
Yep.
or something. And then hopefully by, within the next month, have that completed. And be ready to go by September 8th.
Awesome.
Very good. All right, well, our next scheduled regular meeting is on September 15th at 3:30 here in Endeavor. And somebody make a motion to adjourn.
Lisa Stackowski, I motion to adjourn.
Very good. All we need. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for